Good morning, welcome to the channel. This unit is HSKP, I'm familiar with it. It's been at Waxy for some time. And I did get a note, personalized, thank you. Brush not working, brush cover, power switch. And I noticed that as soon as I powered it on, I noticed the switch was shorted. So this is an electromechanical problem. No problem with that, that happens. That's fair wear and tear. So I did plug it in. I did notice the vac motor operational. So here's something I just noticed, and it's great. I appreciate the brush coming out. We do have some, okay, not so much bristle set, very slight, if any at all, but it's serviceable. The brush should be sitting like so. We want to get air through this whole system. I'm going to check the bearing, and not bad. We do have hair. This hair needs to come off after every use. If it's going to be around the edges most of the time, but looking along most of this brush, it looks okay. It's serviceable. That's just a little bit of water mixed in, but that's why. Also, there is some debris that has been building up in there. That's going to be bad, but I do call this a serviceable brush. So, moving forward, I'm going to take a look inside here. Tank looks pretty good, but we do need to flush the tank out with clean water. I'm going to inspect the filter itself. I'm going to inspect these hoses. Don't know what this is all about, as long as it doesn't interfere with the operation. Now the cord is going through some rough handling, it looks like. I already see that there's a aftermarket plug, because that tells me either they're going to the maximum or they're pulling it like this instead of using the safest part. Limited life on this. Once you put this on here, there's a right way and a wrong way to install the conductors inside here. I'm going to suggest a new one. It could be taken off the quote. I have no problem, but I'm just looking for the future. These are actually should last for the cord should last many years. So I'm going to go through the rest of the machine, and I'll come back when I do find an issue. Hopefully I don't find any issues underneath the brush deck, but all right. Okay, we're looking underneath, and not too terribly bad, but I would take note of all this debris that's building up along there. Feels clean, but you got to do a little more detail work around here, and that's fine. Hopefully you're taking the nozzles off and checking them to make sure we have, okay. So hopefully the tip isn't being cleaned from the front. You'll be putting out too much water. That's the problem or solution. I do see somebody tried to glue this back on. So to prevent that, do not hit the walls. The vac shoe will flex a little bit, but be careful. You don't have to get that close to a baseboard. See your baseboard down below that, these doors? You don't need to get that close. I shouldn't really see, and that's fine. I shouldn't really see any white paint on here at all. So this is just a pulley cover, and it protects the belt, keeps debris out. But see where, yeah, looks like it was some glue. But looking at the spindle here, ooh, it's tight. Okay, we're locked up. Our spindle is locked up, most definitely. So that's going to require the belt and the spindle to be replaced. So I am going to not operate that part, but what I see now, this is this was preventable. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and get this quote. There is the machine does, for all intents and purposes, it does look cared for, but there are some things that we can still learn from. So especially by taking the brush out and allowing this to dry. But you know what? It just depends on how much, you know, how much water's being picked up. If this is being used as a wet dry vac, this is not the piece of equipment for that, for flooding. You have to find something else. It just doesn't pick up enough, and it doesn't have a great capacity. So do not use this machine for wet operations to pick up water. I mean, if it's an emergency, it's an emergency, but you may have consequences.